So over the last couple hours, I was putting together this gentleman's data store right here. And overnight, I uploaded over, I think it was 15 million records. So I want to go up, show you guys what's going on in there so you can get a clear understanding. I was able to go into his account, and these are all the databases he had me put together for him, all the ones that are simple audience. He is an intent data provider. He gets over 60 billion pieces of information every single, and as you see here, it's categorized into people looking for senior living facilities, people looking for chiropractors, people looking for kitchen remodeling. He has the ability with our software to build a store or a database just for you that only you have access to. So being this is all a time snapshot, if someone today buys bathroom remodeling leads, someone tomorrow buying them is going to get a different data set. Now, every 7 days was about 500,000 records. Put a database together for him of 500,000 people actively looking for crypto investments or anything, just anything with regard to crypto. And this one, for instance, Sell My Home, there's 205,000 people that Googled in the last 7 days that they were interested in selling their home. And we actually have a user that has over 40 clients already, and she's a realtor. And what she has us get for her, when they sign up, free account, paid account, whatever it is, automatically gets this dashboard. And anything you sign up for ends up in your custom databases. Now, the new thing that we added, all of it is a white label where if you choose to, you can actually build packages of that data to resell. This user, for instance, put together a pro membership and it's just 5,000 leads per month. She's able to assign the databases she's subscribed to for them to use. Now get into that person's white label, subscribe to these databases, which aren't here right now because my account isn't on any package. You as the admin do have an easy ability where you could actually go to the users and I can do one of two things. I can either add the databases that I want, or I can add a plan to that person, which ties into a database that's on the plan. Anything you add on this database icon adds additional databases to this plan. So if you're in a plan, you have the plan plus these additional databases that you might add to a user's account. So now when we go back, Real Estate Surge's white label, and I'm in my account, we can now see those databases are now anything you buy through Avocadata, your main account, you can white label at no cost and build your own store, leadsurge.com.
What is white label?
So white label is when you actually can create your own business from the data and resell it through your own front end. So if we were to go look right here, anything that we sign up for in Avocadata, you have the full ability to create plans to resell it. So all the data that you subscribe to through us, you do have the free option of reselling it because we provide you unlimited. From that unlimited, you're given a download speed of 5,000 records per minute. So you have the ability to really chop that up and sell it how you want to at no additional cost.
Can you do a rundown on businesses looking for health insurance?
I actually just uploaded a database of people who are looking for health insurance. This is one from the beginning of January, and there is a third one I just uploaded from yesterday. This is going to go live in a couple hours, and there'll be 500,000 records of people in the last few days Googling health insurance.
Not individuals, but businesses.
Yeah, I want to go find my health insurance intent database. We have all these options on this side. So seniority level basically lets you find the owners. So if we just type CXO, we're going to pull everybody that is listed as some sort of owner or founder of a business. And now basically you just converted this list into owners, presidents, chief executive officers looking for health insurance. And you have a list of 10,000 people in the last few days that have been doing that. Out of 100,000 people that were in this database, 10% of them are business owners. Percent of all the records of people looking for health insurance are going to be business owners.
So yes, and we can do all of those things that you just asked for, and you can filter down by state. Plus, if you go to Brian's point, if you go do an update on this database, it's going to be a whole fresh batch of people that then you get to filter down through and identify as well.
How fresh and accurate is the data? Will we say that 70%?
There's a mobile phone that you can use and a skip trace wireless. Do not use personal phone or direct number ever. 20% of these numbers just ring indefinitely, is the average of what mobile phone does. But skip trace wireless is another option. If you flip this, every phone number is skip traced and it's verified in 3 different sources as of 2024 December. About 30% of the phone numbers have these, and I can say about 5% of these numbers will just ring indefinitely. We give you all the options. If you have a better way of flushing out these mobile numbers, you still have 80% good numbers, but that's the way that we market it to try to get the best understanding.
Okay, last question. That is just searching data. What about intent data? Do you have that as well, right?
Yeah, so the way it works is you purchase from us, provide us a big list of keywords, as many as you want, and we'll put together databases for you, such as window replacement.
Yeah, like a water system for house. Okay, awesome.
Okay. My question is like, what are the testimonials or any good reviews you guys have on these solar leads? Like, are they like a hot item for you guys, or a lot of people getting good results with them?
So everyone's a bit different.
Okay.
That's corny and that sounds like an excuse, but if you have a call center that knows what they're doing and they can know how to rush or run through, let's say, homeowner data and clean it up themselves, they do very well. But if you're expecting, and those aren't opted in, for instance, we don't give anything opted in. There's another database. There's about 8 million age solar leads. Those call centers I'm talking about, they basically have to call half as many to book the same amount of appointments with the age solar. All of it's included. It's just, we just give you these different barometers of what it makes sense. The way I present it is, this is not somebody who needs bathroom remodeling. That's not true. They Googled bathroom remodeling. So think of every possible reason why someone would Google bathroom remodeling. They could be a bathroom remodeler looking for supplies, or they can be an attorney for not, but with giving those explanations, you can really use this data really well, because you do have all these countless ways you can filter. So for instance, one thing that I've been playing with recently is like the job title, department, industry, because you might want to find, like, for instance, public school teachers in certain states, people have a really easy time selling solar and different life insurance stuff too. And now you would have 4 different ways under the industry, the department, the title, and the seniority to really find who you're looking for.
Yeah, I was thinking about giving them to like solar consultants and stuff like that. What was my next question? Do you know like how much people are like pricing the leads for, like the ones who do it for solar leads? So are they like giving it by the thousands, or are they like doing it like, oh, say like 50 or 500 for $20? Because I'm trying to think of like what a good price point would be to give to the solar companies.
If I can jump in here, Curtis, I'm actually here specifically for solar.
There's intent data, like I was saying. The
Mhm.
intent data has a lot more in it if you're looking for a broader region. The age solar leads are mostly just the South, because that's where everyone focused on solar over the last 2 years. Right here, this is people who Googled solar in January 2025. You now have the flexibility to make sure everything has a cell phone. That's the mobile, and also, like we were talking, to skip trace wireless. Let's say we want to go to our personal state and we can go pick Florida. You'll see a few different states when you download the data, because if they work for a company, you're going to see where their company is located and all that. So if they work for Amazon, it's going to show Seattle, Washington. Then if you want to make sure everyone's a homeowner, we can go like this. When we do a homeowner in Florida, we hit get count, and we have 34,000 in the last 5 days. And we can go off create the list. Now that I pre-built it, it's already pre-filtered for you. Once you find what you want, you can go buy, save list, type in the amount, and then you can decide where you want to send it to. So let's say you have like assistants and you don't want to download it, upload it. You can just pick them to send it directly to, and it sends as a CSV. So if you want to re-download the data, now you can actually select what fields you want. So if you don't want to get the company city, you just want a few things like this, you export it with just the selected fields that you want. And now you don't have to, have a overly sized spreadsheet that might slow your computer down.
Brian, one question. That is intent data or just the data pull out from the database?
This is intent data. So these are people.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yes,
No, I understand what is. No, it just was a question. No worry. So amazing. Just pull out 39 people just for that zip code. That is fresh, right? So amazing.
Exactly. And we build you the database just for you. So every subscriber gets a different database, because you guys have a little bit different criteria. So we're able to do that. And then there's not really any overlap. We're small enough where,
So that means every time we need it, we give you the keywords to you. We are not doing it ourselves. We give you the keywords to you and you build it. That's the way it works.
The way the plans work right now is we do it by database. So monthly, you get to provide us a set of keywords to make a database. And if you stay subscribed the next month, we build you a second database. And so let's say you in month 1 want solar, then in month 2 you want plumbing. If you stay subscribed monthly, you're able to continuously download from the older databases. It just doesn't update, for instance. You know what I mean? You do have the ability to pay to update it, but every month you get a new database if you choose with new keywords, and as long as you're subscribed, you continue to get access to all of the old stuff you were subscribed to. Yeah, it's like Pokemon. You collect databases, and eventually you end up with a.
Okay, so to see if I understand, you say 499 is one intent data set, but you means next month can be another data set, right?
Correct. We can either
So every month I
refresh.
can change it.
Yeah, you can give us the same words, we
Okay.
refresh it, or new words, and we change it.
Okay, but then
Do you keep a count of how many times that list that a client is looking for has been downloaded?
Yeah, and so there's a few things that go on. There's a lot of algorithms that rotate the data to make sure, there's not overlapping a lot of exports, but your individual account and white label can build a suppression list. So let's say you have one whole ecosystem with 10 users. You can set it where each user has a suppression list, or you can set it where the entire white label has a suppression list.
Could you explain? I'm sorry. What do you mean by suppression list?
So if I was to download a rec, I don't want to download the same person twice, kind of like if I'm downloading homeowners.
Oh, when you're doing it month after month.
Or even day after day, like for instance, not like if I want to download roofing leads, and let's just say again, West Palm Beach, Florida, really, really narrow area. I'm sure there's not going to be a million in there, so there's going to be a finite amount. So if I download these, like let's just say I'll do 35 for now, just to show you how it would cancel it out. So if I hit buy save list here, and I'm going to go do it again, but this time I'm going to type 100. If it worked correctly, this is just going to stay pending forever because now there's more leads than what are in the system. But it actually sent out. But that's what happens. Like if you type in more than there is, it's going to default it down.
Do you have algorithms to determine the length of homeownership stay? Like how long they plan on staying in the home?
That, are you looking for like real estate buyers, sellers? Is that like the target?
No, my only focus is solar. That's all I do.
Yeah,
So
That's
the
interesting.
the longer somebody stays, the more likely they are to benefit.
Yeah, I'm making a note. One of the projects we're working on right now is data visualization. So I'm making a note of that because I think that is a super interesting use case, especially for data visualization. So yeah, that's a good one, man. I love these AMAs.
Yeah, because one thing I'm just thinking out loud, like if you go to homeowners, there is a purchase year, but I'm trying to think backwards. What would someone be Googling? This is a better question. What would someone be searching on Google if they had intent to stay in their home for a long period of time? Remodeling, like if someone's remodeling a kitchen, like that would be if you can get into the mind of what they'd be looking for.
Right. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing
there's going to be most people that will remodel are doing it for themselves. Yeah, so that's a good point.
Or like adding an extension to your house, like that, like that you're committed technically if you.
Yeah. So my focus are people that are going to be staying in the home long term, as they'll benefit most from the solar, which is a long term investment. And also, I typically try to focus and find specifically people that bought 12 months ago. When it comes to solar, to build a system accurately, we want to look at the last 12 months of usage. If they've been in the home if they bought 12 months ago, they've had a full year cycle. Therefore, we can build the system accurately to their need. It also lessens the likelihood that they have been berated by all the thousands of door knockers out there.
Nice.
Another good way to narrow down a search for people that want to stay in their homes long term would be look up leads that are searching for remodelers or home builders as well, or that are doing renovations to their house. Kind of gives you an idea if they're there long term, or it could be a flipper as well, but it's just an option.
Yeah, and then if it's a flipper, you could theoretically filter out people in real estate. So that's the thing. Every scenario you can. This is a computer. Like what this system is, we basically programmed a computer from scratch. We don't own the server. We built on Google, but that's kind of what this is. Where every logical path you can think about, there is a way to do it. With the solar stuff, basically the whole thing, like the whole idea is perfect how you're going to do it. If you're doing, it based off of like what Hakeem was saying, the visualization.
This is where we get into what I call audience engineering.
Right.
You have to, you're going to refine and sort of master your query. I have some thoughts on how you could also potentially tell if someone's going to stay in a home. I like the 12-month window. That kind of gets rid of the flippers and the people who are, just because even a renovation could be a flipper. Like that's a tough one. But I also think maybe if they own a second home or a vacation home, probably they're just situating their family. They're not necessarily bouncing around or flipping. I think there's probably some interesting ways, but this really gets into that kind of audience engineering. And this is, we love to work with guys like you to kind of figure out how do we refine and master that query to really get you the absolute best results.
Yeah, I'm also, this is my first time here. I appreciate you guys putting this all together. I kind of an expert in query, creating to find leads, but my problem is it's just takes so much time when you put that search in there. I don't have the software to go in and pull all the data out of it. But my biggest thing right now is trying to find businesses looking for EV charging stations for electric cars. That's a big thing here in my state, Pennsylvania, right now. I'm just trying to find business owners that are looking to put EV charging stations in their businesses, so kind of things like that.
Yeah. So anything. So there's two sides to it. Step one, what are they Googling? And you just identified that. And then step two would be this aspect. Okay, are we looking? So we would pull you a database of everyone Googling EV stations. Probably do the whole Northeast because we can get you up to 500,000 records. And I don't want to. It's not worth limiting. You know what I mean? Like you get it no matter what.
Right.
So you might as well have some extra things you can play around with research. So let's say now you want to find CEOs looking for it. You could go off and type in the seniority level. So now you'll just find business. I mean, if you're a CEO, you're most likely a business owner. And if you're Googling EV, well, now you really narrowed it. But maybe you want to go off and find doctors who are CEOs Googling EV. Well, you type in doctor.
I'd like to try and get all the questions covered that we can. I know there's a lot more to delve into on both of these topics. I think the short answer is absolutely we can work together to rinse, repeat, refine, and figure out the right sort of query and data sets to put together to identify the people that you're trying to reach. But I see Osagi, how do I say your name? Osagi. Okay, so we got Osagi and we got John, who have both patiently been waiting. So let's get Osagi's question before we run out of time here, and let's get John in, and then we can circle back to this stuff if we want to at the end. Thank you, gentlemen.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was speaking to Brian yesterday about the system. So I was going to ask about the homeowner information, right? So is it possible to generate the homeowner information across the entire country so we can skip trace that? Because I saw there was an option for the homeowners, but it's not skip trace. So the phone numbers are kind of weird, right? So is it possible to have a full database of homeowners across the United States, and we have the ability to skip trace that by clicking the checkbox? So it's more broad. It's not really intent.
Yeah, so that's what I was doing with this. It says business professionals, but really these are all homeowners and business.
Okay.
I think what was the state you wanted to do again? I remember was it Massachusetts or Pennsylvania or?
Oh, it was Washington, Seattle.
Seattle. Okay, so we go off. We look at personal city, right? And now I was looking this up yesterday when we were talking. I think there's 1 million in Seattle, 237,000. Now, if you want to make sure they're all homeowners, just flip. Yeah, 79,000 are homeowners. And all these would be business professionals, Christ CEOs, and you would have the ability to filter further down. Maybe you want to find a barber in Seattle who owns a home. You can get as creative as you need to.
Got you. So
one barber.
Should I use the personal inquirer option?
For the personal, this is going to be where they physically live. So if you want to find homeowners, play with this. You have these flexibilities if you want to do it by gender. Then if they have kids, you can get really creative with that. All I would say again is personal phone. Do not use.
Terrible, yeah.
Terrible. And then direct number, do not use. Just use skip trace and mobile.
Okay. So skip trace wireless numbers basically.
Correct. Yeah, this right here.
Okay. So if I go on the site, do I just stick to, because I'm looking at your tab right now. Do I stick to the business professionals?
For now, yeah, do that. That's the big database I'm aggregating.
That's the big database. Okay, that makes sense.
And the way it's set up is everything that's going into these intent databases after a couple of weeks, it's going to stick it all into that one database. So basically, missing into there. You're just at, for instance, there's 500,000 general liability. Oh, wow.
Okay.
So yeah, last night, got personal trainer, got renewable energy company, real estate buyer. We went over people looking for IT services. So, I mean, this was just all these went up overnight. We can do anything you guys need with any type of intent.
Got you. So for right now, just focus on the business professionals to actually skip trace to get the homeowners, right?
Correct.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because there's about 10 million that are that have the skip trace numbers in this database alone.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, like this whole database, I've been just trying to put the skip trace ones in mainly. So yeah, about 30%.
I've got three things on the data you're looking for the real estate thing. Do you guys have the ability to pull owner occupied? That's what you're looking for, I would think, right? So you're not getting real estate agents and property flippers.
Okay, so that's a good point. So now I go into all the statistics, because this is the part I find fun. Where, all right, we take a look at the real estate words. 205,000 people Googled to sell my home, and I was looking for the same thing you were talking about. Just curious to know in terms of, okay, what amount of these people are in the industry that I need. So I realized if I just type in real estate, they really only have about 1%, 1.2% that are actually real estate agents. So I mean, it's not. And if we wanted to validate another way, realtor, 730 people.
But the question I was looking for, do you guys have, when you're doing city, you have city, zip, do you have metro area in there? I couldn't find it. I just don't know if it was the one that I didn't see or wasn't turned on.
No metro area, but what I would do is I would just tell ChatGPT, can you get me all the postal codes in an area?
Yeah, that's the way then I've got a couple sites that allow you to kind of click zips and then download them too. I just got to find them again. Okay.
Yeah, we can pre-save it for you. So if you let us know what you want, very soon you'll have the ability.
And I had a call with you guys last week on the roofing stuff, so I do want to go ahead and set up that second call to. I'm texting with you at the same time, but I do want to set up a second call to figure out next steps. So I've got somebody selling the data for me now to get going. So
okay, awesome.
Yeah, I'll just text in there to get another meeting scheduled with you guys on that and the data visualization you're asking about.
Yeah, the map stuff's cool. Like that's once the data's all standardized, about the data visualization. But the system is engineered where, let's say you come to us and you're like, hey, Brian, I have this great data about sunlight hours tied to home address. Okay, you literally could build a database and let people buy it from you to enrich their data with. So it's a giant, it's like Napster, except it's legal.
Yep. All right. That was the question I have for now. Thank you.
I have a question. Okay, the question I have, can you find businesses looking for tax credits or looking to save money on taxes?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think I actually just uploaded let me see, did I just do one of those? Oh no, I did for looking for B2B insurance policies. But yeah, I mean, you give us the keywords, we literally find what people Googled, and we pull them into this special database. Like this database is just people who are looking for IT consultants. So if it's tax, then yeah, we just have to replace it with tax consultant.
And if what you're looking for is not in these, it literally will be populated in 24 hours.
Yeah, like this is people Googling addiction center. It's all out there. Anything you can think. He built all of these recently. People who want to Google cosmetic surgery. Anything's out there. SETC, I mean, if VRC was around still, that would be there. So if you just gave us a list of words revolving around someone Googling that they need SETC services, we would be able to put a database of those people together for you. Could any word you can think of, there's over 2.5, 3 million words that we can look up and then combine with other words to find people Googling them. Yeah, so from those 3 million words, we can build queries around what you're looking for. All right. Another thing I want to, just for anyone who to fiddle around and experiment, we're talking about the visualization, under this website custom pages is where it's going to be. I was playing around with our own databases to build a database on a page. So you have all this flexibility to literally try to build these things out and build tables from the databases, because it's not just leads at the end of the day. A lot of you had a lot of outside ideas, and that's all 100% attainable. But now it's almost like it's not open source because people have to pay us to host, but still, that's kind of the idea where anyone needs anything. You guys, along with us, already built the solutions to make sure they can get it.
Yeah, and this is one of the things I always say about the genius of what Brian has built here is it's super flexible. So you almost have to know what direction you're headed before you sort of come into the ecosystem, because you can customize it to solve for any of your needs, whether you're managing a team or whether you have clients or whether it's just you or you and a partner and you're spinning up businesses and selling services, whether you're a reseller or a buyer, whatever your use is, whatever you do, this thing is designed to make that easier and more efficient.
And this whole thing's free. That's the one thing I want to keep stressing. Free as in you get to resell. And you're reselling 5,000. Your limit is 5,000 per minute. Now get creative and think of all the ways you can monetize 5,000 per minute. You can give someone 100 a day for $10. You can give someone all 5,000, the whole package, and charge them 1,000 a month and double your money. It's limitless. And really, you can create the package you need to for whether it's a Primerica agent that can only spend $50 a month, or it's like a $600 million healthcare, like under 65 healthcare company. You have that ability to make sure they don't think they're overpaying, and getting too much that they don't need, you're basically able to make it so they get what's just right every time.
Exactly. Brian, you ought to figure out a way to use AI to create these lists and spreadsheets right off the bat, put it into your software.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's where the enriching comes in, because the next piece of this whole thing is you're going to be able to connect the database to another database and basically build these data tools. And really all that is AI. Like that's all AI is just intersecting data tables, creating nodes, and pushing out new information from the data that intersected.
Crack the code on ChatGPT. Find me a list of homeowners in the state of Pennsylvania with zip code this, on and put them on a spreadsheet for me. But chat, of course, any chat bot won't do that because it's private information they consider. But if you can crack that code and put it in your software, that'd be cheap.
That's the whole thing, right? This is a database. So imagine this has 1 trillion data points every day of everyone's Google searches live. We wouldn't need ChatGPT because this would be its own ChatGPT. Hey, can you find me all the people looking for plumbing in Florida? Well,
that's what I mean. Yep.
That's actually coming out very shortly. We have version 3 coming out of the dashboard, right? Because that's really what this thing is to make it work. But this entire UI and everything that you're talking about, you're just going to be, you can say, I'm a plumber and I don't know anything. And it'll build you a list of leads, basically. It'll clear you that you end up getting what you need. Because then, it removes all of this for the average person who doesn't need to think about it.
Yep. Yeah. Another thing, back to a question somebody had about, not to sell so many leads to their clients, if it's 100 a month or 50 a month, whether it's a big company or a mom and pop shop looking for local leads, you want to be able to utilize this to scale up. You don't want to sell them an abundant amount of leads where they're not going to come back for a few months or maybe even a year if you overload them with leads. So you want to be able to scale up by using small quantities for your monthly membership or whatever. But you know what I mean? So like when you offer leads to other clients, don't allow them to buy a max amount of leads at once, because they won't come back and keep using that monthly membership for the services that we use your system for, not you yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. One of the things I'll say on this entire conversation is, and this is again, what I love about what Brian's done here, is that he's focused purely on this sort of actual functionality with the data, and making the system actually like work for and with the data for everybody. And then where we've been working really hard on UI, UX, that sort of, user interface and user experience, and that will continue to progress as we go. But one of the things I love about it, and I like to sort of remind everybody, is that I'm sure at some point, some company in the last 3 to 5 years has promised to deliver you what this platform does for you and failed. And I would just like to compliment Brian before we come to the end of this hour with this AMA, and just remind everybody that, man, where many have tried and failed miserably and overpromised and underdelivered, Brian has really over-delivered, and you as a community are going to help us take this thing to the next level. And it's these AMAs that we get so much insight and so much value out of. And I hope that we are able to return that impact and that value to you guys by making this service better and better and better.
Absolutely. I'm one of those guys who failed in the past, spending thousands and thousands of dollars of promised and under-delivered. So this system here, this is my first time in this webinar, and I'll tell you what, I'm mind blown already.
Welcome to the family, my friend. Welcome. Yeah. Brian, as we come to we got a few minutes left. So any closing remarks? And then again, we'll do some one-on-ones. Top notch. I dropped my email in there. Feel free to email me. Let's connect offline and let's have a chat. And if there is anything we can do to help anyone, the team is here. Myself, Brian, Harry, Kush. We're all here to help answer your questions, get you the products you absolutely need, and help you make the most of them. So don't hesitate to reach out now.
Awesome, guys. If there's nothing else, let's wrap this up. And I'll look for your text, John. I saw it earlier. And yeah, reach out with any questions. If you want to book an appointment to meet with us one-on-one to get set up. Kakeem, if you want to, I'm going to drop that link real quick in the chat where you can book any type of.
So I'm going to stop the recording now because we forgot to do that last week.
Oh yeah, and it recorded for 6 hours.